Hello everybody, this is KingTut here, and welcome to another Allegro 5 tutorial. So in this tutorial, I will show you game loop. So I've shown you literally the intro of Allegro, what it is. I have shown you the two ways to link Allegro library to Cevelop, and I've explained to you the lines of code and what each line does. So we're going to replace Allegro REST with a game loop, because Allegro REST, all it does is just displays that window for a certain amount of seconds and it just closes out automatically. And realistically, when you're playing a game, you have to have the window up forever until the fact that you close it. So that's what a game loop is. It's a kind of loop that allows your game, your window, to appear for ever and ever and ever until the player, or you as the player, terminates the game, whether by hitting the exit button or basically end task using the task manager, or terminating it via the debugger or the IDE, or pressing escape. There's a lot of ways. There's more ways to terminate the game. So I'm not going to show you how to uh, terminate the game with the exit button. That might be in the next tutorial, or maybe the tutorial after for this series. And I'm not going to also learn keyboard input. That's going to be later in this series. So you see here, this is a windowed game, and this is full screen game. So in a full screen game, you have to either implement some kind of selection and option to exit the game, or press the escape button to exit the game. In a windowed game, you could either press escape, have an option to quit the game, or press the X button. So how do you implement the game loop? To implement the game loop, you just need two things: a Boolean variable and a while loop. And Boolean variable is basically true and false variable, and a while loop is basically a conditional, like a more like an if then kind of while loop. So the while loop goes on and on forever until there is some condition that breaks the loop in the while loop. So if you declare the Boolean variable to be true, you would put the Boolean variable itself in the while loop instead of the Boolean variable equal true, because it assumes the variable itself is true. If it's false, you have to put an exclamation point before the variable name. So it goes like this. So I implement a Boolean variable is running, and I set it to true. And since is running is true, I put in is running as the while loop. And inside the while loop, you'll have to put in what's called an update and a render. But I don't have any update functionality or update code. That's going to be later on in the tutorial, once I go over events, basically keyboard input. So right now we put in the rendering part. So you need to put in clear the color, so basically the background color that I showed you, the shape that we use in the last two tutorial, and flipping the display to show the shape. Or if you gone on the other way and declare the Boolean variable to be false, this is how it's going to work. So I implement Boolean variable done, and it equals false. And since done is false, you put in the exclamation point before done to indicate it's false, and then you put in the rendering code. Clear the color, the background color of the window, the shape that you draw, and displaying the shape. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to demonstrate you how it's done. Alrighty, so first of all, let's take out AL rest, because we're not having the window display for a certain amount of time, so we don't need that. So I'm going to declare a Boolean variable, and I'm going to name it done, and then I'm going to equal to false. So it makes sense. It's not done yet, so while, and then since done is false, I'm going to put in the exclamation point and then put done. And then I'm going to put in the curly brace, and then I'm going to highlight all these rendering codes and then put it inside while. And then let's just organize it just to make it look clean. Now, when I run this program, this should appear. We're going to get the same window, but it's not going to be appearing for 5 seconds. So let's do that. And let's run. And as you see here, it's over 5 seconds, and this window is still on. If I were to click the X button, it does not work. And like I said, I'm not going to be showing you how to do an X button in this tutorial. It's going to be later on in this series. So to terminate this, you press this red square to terminate the program that you're running in the IDE. And it terminates. Another way, let's try it again. You could actually right click the taskbar, go to Task Manager, and then let's group by type if you have this scenario. And where you have the Windows title, if it matches the title on the taskbar, on the Task Manager, sorry, you highlight that and then you click End Task. And it closes it right away. You force closes it. So there you go. That's basically game loop in a nutshell. And I basically showed you how to do a game loop. So hopefully you guys have fun. And let me know in the comments what you think of my video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.